Hello, everybody. Happy cold Friday. It is very frigid out there. This is our first day of indoor recess for the 22-23 calendar. You hope not to have these before we even have Thanksgiving break, but it happens. At least we haven't had to have a snow day, so even with the white stuff on the ground, we're still here and happy and healthy, and everybody's doing great. A couple of notes on the cold weather as we're running into stuff. Sometimes kids come to school and say, I need snow pants. And what that truly means is sometimes they forgot them at home, or sometimes you guys haven't made it out to the store yet, or whatever. And it's hard for the classroom teachers to know what the need is because they don't often have the time to clarify and ask like 5 questions to see if they have snow pants, they just didn't bring their snow pants or boots or gloves or whatever it is. If you have a need for snow gear that you aren't able to get for your students this year, please reach out directly to Mrs. Spencer. Mrs. Spencer is kind of that central hub on getting those things. If a kid comes to us and says, I don't have gloves, we're going to assume they mean I don't have gloves today. We'll try and find something for them to put on that day for recess or whatever. Maybe it's out of lost and found or whatever, but we'll try and get them suited up. But we're not going to send home because our supplies have whittled down considerably already. It's that time where the first cold snap hits and everybody needs their stuff. So we don't have enough for everybody to have something. But if you need something, you uh, need some help getting those supplies, please reach out directly to Mrs. Spencer. Not your homeroom teacher, Mrs. Spencer, and she will help out with that and make sure the right things. If it goes to your homeroom teacher, we're going to tell the homeroom teacher to assume that they have it, just not there today. And then they can look for temporary solutions instead of the long term, like getting a brand new pair of snow pants or a brand new pair of boots when they just forgot theirs in the car that day or whatever it is. Reminder that if it feels like above 10 degrees, we do go outside today. The feel like temperature is 1, so we're not going out there today. But yesterday, the day before, that feel like temperature was above that 10 degrees, so we're out there. And sometimes kids are chilly, so make sure we're sending that gear. Make sure it's labeled. Make sure you're checking that it comes home on a daily basis too, that they haven't lost it, because sometimes, just sometimes, kids will lose things and they won't tell you about it, and they'll be gone for a long time, and all of a sudden one day you're like, okay, where's your gloves, we're going to go out sledding, and they're like, I don't know, and then you're in your own panic to find your materials. So make sure they're bringing them home. Make sure you have them labeled somehow, some way. Sharpie is your best friend this time of year. That's the best way to get stuff back. We will have a collection of tons of stuff in our lost and found, and it just grows day by day. It'll be a single boot and single gloves, just all sorts of stuff. And if they have names in them, it's easy to get them where they belong. Come when it starts to warm up a little bit, those coats, kids will take them off on those days where it was cold in the morning and it isn't so cold at lunchtime, and then at recess they're running around, they'll drop that coat, and oftentimes their coat looks like everybody else's coat because they're all so similar in so many ways. So make sure names are all over everything you own so that we can get them back to you and your kid isn't suffering that way. It can be a long winter if they don't have the thing. A little trick of the trade my wife and I did when our kids were little, and you take this for whatever it's worth, but we always bought multiple pairs of gloves that were exactly alike. And that way, when they lost a left-handed glove, we would have another left-handed glove that looked just like that. When they lost a right-handed glove, we'd have another right-handed glove. And then we'd go to the lost and found and pick up all of their random spares and restock again. But it was an easy way to, when we did have that time where we're going out sledding or we're going to go do something outside and we need those gloves, we always had our matching pairs there. And it was easy to find them in the lost and found because we knew what our gloves looked like, not what all the other ones look like. So take that for what it's worth. Enjoy it, don't enjoy it, up to you. Got some great things. I know last week I didn't get on and talk. If I had, I would have brought up our 5th graders out at Hy-Vee. I had the opportunity to share at our school board meeting last night, our school improvement plan for the year. Every year schools submit their plan for how they're going to get better, because we're always looking for improvement. I don't care if you're the best school in the world. If you're not looking to improve, you're not doing your job. So we got to submit our plan last night. We talked to the school board, and one of the board members was there at Hy-Vee as our fifth graders were singing. It was a great surprise for her to be able to walk in and have our kids there. The entire school's provided cards and placemats to eat at, and all sorts of great stuff. And just a million activities here at school as well to help celebrate those veterans that have served our country. So it was really nice to have the community recognize some of the great things that our kids are doing, and and that doesn't happen without great teachers and great staff to help support that and make that happen as well. So when you see those fifth grade teachers that were out there with them and managing the crowd there at Hy-Vee, and you see Mrs. Cutler who up them learned songs, and when you see Mrs. Olson who organized the event, and when you see these people, make sure you're telling them thanks and telling them how proud you are of them as well. Because the great things your kids do come from some great people that help set it up and prepare it. But it's always nice to go in front of the school board and share some of the great things happening here at Willowbrook. And we've had great support from our families to make that happen. Speaking of great support for families, coming up this week on next Tuesday, yep, right as we're entering into our Thanksgiving break, and yes, my lights did just shut off. I don't move enough, then they think I'm not in here, and they shut off to save conserve energy. They might pop back on here in a little bit. If I wiggle my arms around enough, they'll turn on. But next Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving break, is the next PTA meeting. That's the 22nd, and that is in our school library at 6 o'clock. Front doors will be open for you. Come on and see what's going on, see what the next big thing happening is. We've got a culture day coming up that I'm sure will be discussed and some finer points. So touch base on how well the Monster Mash went and different things, and come and be a part of that voice. It's always nice to know what's coming up. It's always nice to know how they're spending those dollars that they raise. It's always nice to know what ways we're supporting students and how we're supporting student learning. So I hope to see more of you. That crowd's been growing each week, and it's fantastic to see the PTA getting bigger and bigger, because many hands make light work. So I hope you all get a chance to join in on that. The butter braids all went out this last week. I think we had one person left that needed to pick theirs up, and we've got that going out today. So we're excited that everybody's going to get to enjoy the good breakfasts that come from the fun of that fundraiser there for the PTA. Biggest news you need coming up is, remember, we only have school Monday and Tuesday of next week, and then we are off the rest of the week. And I say we, students and staff, everybody will be gone. I'm even taking Wednesday off and going to enjoy some time with my family. So make sure that you enjoy that time. Make sure if you need to be at work or something on Wednesday, you have your daycare figured out, because that could be a rude shock to the system if all of a sudden you think the kids are going to school that day and now you don't, and you don't have a plan for them. So please make sure you have a plan for what's going to happen Wednesday if you don't have that day free for yourself. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, no school. We'll be back on Monday, the 1st. I think that's it, other than I hope a big group of you are going down to the Unidome or heading up to the Unidome tonight to support our Rams in that state finals tonight. It's always exciting. This is 3 years in a row in the finals, and hopefully it's 2 years in a row taking home that trophy. It's fun for the students to get to see events like that, because not every school makes it to that point. Not every school gets to play the Unidome. We need to see those opportunities. We live in Des Moines, so it's great that we can go and see state basketball games when you get a chance. I know when my kids were little, going to see the girls' state basketball was a thrill for them. They got go into the arena and sit and see that huge crowd and see your school and support them, even if they didn't know who anybody was. They knew who the people wearing the black and gold were, and it's fun to support and build that pride in their school. There's all sorts of great things always happening around, not just athletics, but I know a lot of people went out and saw the musical last week. Little Mermaid was a fun one for the kids to see up at the high school, and it's fun to just be a part of the community outside of our building and outside of what we do here from 8:30 to 3:30 every day. So I hope you're getting those opportunities to enjoy those. I hope everybody gets a great chance to relax over this break. I hope everybody gets to spend time with family or those people you care about, and enjoys a nice warm meal out there. if you're in charge of cooking, good luck to you, and have fun with that. I'm usually in charge of cooking, but I get out of the detail this year because we're traveling, so little mini vacation for me. I hope everybody enjoys the holiday, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thanks.